During my high school years, procrastination, lack of focus, and poor self-discipline all contributed to my lovely GPA of a 2.8. Getting basically no A's, very few B's, mostly C's, and even some D's, the thought of going to college and being a successful student was extremely daunting. The idea of being a professional Call of Duty player, making millions of dollars, or winning the lottery was much more attractive to me than going to college where I have to study, and study. But as we all know, the odds of winning the lottery or becoming a millionaire by just playing Call of Duty is quite slim. So if procrastinating, poor attention spans, and poor self-discipline lead to getting bad grades, maybe the opposite will help me get good grades? Seems pretty obvious, right? But how do you do that? How do you stop procrastinating? And how do you stay focused? And how do you develop discipline? Well, these are things that I was able to change throughout my undergraduate years by building better habits. And fast forward almost 4 years later, I'm on track to graduate with a 3.9, and I'll also be attending Columbia University for grad school. So let me share with you guys the habits that turned me into a successful student. Throughout my undergraduate years, I have met many brilliant students, and I mean brilliant. And I had the opportunity to be friends with many of these brilliant people. And I was able to observe their habits, study tactics, and lifestyle to try and understand their formula for success. While doing so, I was able to conclude and adopt 5 habits that all of these people had in common. Number 1, having a productive morning routine. Generally speaking, what is the hardest part about sitting down, opening your computer, and doing homework or studying for more than an hour? It's getting started, at least for me. For me, it's always so difficult to get out of bed and actually get started. But when you do get started, it's really not that bad. I know most of you can relate to this as well. However, when you start your day off, not necessarily even early, but just productive, you get the ball rolling right off the bat, and it becomes easier to carry that momentum into your studies. If you wake up at 9 a.m. and you just start your day off by mindlessly scrolling on TikTok or Instagram and just keep laying around until 10:30 a.m., you have put yourself in a ditch that continuously gets deeper the longer you wait. Whereas, if you wake up at 9 a.m. and make yourself breakfast, get in the shower, stretch, or even go to the gym, you have got the ball rolling earlier in the day. And psychologically, this will translate into easier studying. I personally start my day off at 7 a.m. and go to the gym for about an hour and a half, and by the time I get back, shower, and get dressed, my brain is wired and ready to tackle all tasks. Whereas if I slept until 9 a.m. and laid around, I'd be dreading to just even get out of bed and start anything. So start creating a productive morning routine, and you will reap the benefits almost instantaneously. Number 2, surround yourself with brilliant people. Now, I'm sure you've all heard the saying, you are the sum of the 5 people that you hang around with the most. And I truly believe that to be true. In high school, I surrounded myself with people who cared more about their social status than relationships, more about partying than grades, and more about instantaneous satisfaction rather than long-term goals. And me, who was constantly hanging around with these types of people, well, of course, it influenced me. I would play video games for hours upon hours, care more about what girls thought of me, and was obsessed with the idea of being the popular kid at any type of social gathering. And none of this benefited me in any shape or form. And this is something I was able to change in college. Being friends with intelligent people helped me in many different ways. For example, observing their study habits and self-discipline helped motivate me to do better in school. It amazed me how well these guys were able to sit down, memorize, and regurgitate information that they just memorized so easily. It also helped because I would study with them in group sessions, and I was able to ask for help, and help was always provided. Having a strong network of intelligent people helped us all grow together, and if one of us didn't understand anything, the group would come together and try and help that person out. And by that person, usually it was me. Number 3, ask questions. This is an extremely important thing that you must understand. Arrogance will hinder you not only in your studies, but life as well. You must be willing to ask questions and learn. It is absolutely and utterly important for you to go up to your professor after class or even to your classmates to ask for help. I understand some people do not like to ask questions. You may be nervous. I've been there, but asking questions is nothing to be ashamed of, I promise. How does a boxer or a pianist or a swimmer get so good at that task? Well, 1, they all had a coach guiding them along the way, and they also had to ask the coach questions on how to improve. The world's best athletes got to that level not by themselves, but with a mentor. This is the exact same concept for school. Some of the most brilliant people that I've met during school were the ones that asked the most questions. Whether that be during class or during a professor's office hours, or even to your peers, being inquisitive and wanting to understand it more than anyone else will set you up for success. Number 4, exercise. I'm a big believer with a strong body comes a strong mind. There's 2 reasons I put exercise on this list. 1 is for your mental and physical health, and 2 is for self-discipline. Exercise is something I highly recommend you incorporate into your week. And to be brutally honest, I think everyone has time to exercise, no matter how difficult your major is. If you sleep 7 hours a day and you cannot find 30 to 60 minutes out of the other 17 hours of the day that you have to exercise, 1, I kind of doubt it, and 2, if that is true, I think you really need to change up your schedule and manage your time just a little bit better. I mean, go check your screen time right now on your settings. If social media takes anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes, then you have time to exercise. Exercising has so many benefits that's not talked about enough. It improves your cognitive functions such as memory, attention, and executive functions. It reduces stress and anxiety, releases endorphins, and also improves your overall energy and sleep. It's not good for your mental health to just be locked up on a chair and stare at a screen or paper for hours on end with no forms of exercise. I mean, I'm not saying you have to train like an Olympian, but even just walking on the treadmill while listening to music can release endorphins, improve your mental health, which will help with your studies. Setting a good exercise schedule can also help you with your self-discipline by getting in a consistent routine. Having the ability to go to the gym and go work out despite not feeling like it will train your mind to become more disciplined, which can translate over to your studies. The 5th and final habit is more of a mindset, and that is you need to adopt a never-ending growth mindset. And what I mean by this is you should always be waking up every day and finding a way to get better. Time is always ticking, and if you're not progressing, you're regressing, and that is a fact. If a bodybuilder lifts a ton of weights for many years and finally hits his dream physique, can he just stop and chill now for the rest of his life? Nope. Because if he does, his physique will slowly start to deteriorate. You need to develop a mindset that will consistently draw you towards the positive direction. This isn't limited to just school, but everything else as well. A lot of these successful students I know are always looking to get better in all realms of their life, whether that be by going to the gym and getting stronger, learning how to become a better cook, or looking for new internship opportunities. They're always willing to be a better version of themselves. Now, are there going to be setback days? Absolutely. And that is totally okay because we're all human. But the goal is to adopt this type of mindset, have more progressive days than regressive days, and this will help you become a successful student and also a successful person. All right, so now we went over these 5 habits of successful students, and before you click out of this video, you need to remember something. You will not be able to adopt these 5 habits right away. These things take time, and it took me over a year, and some of these took multiple years. But what's important is you consistently try every single day. That last habit I talked about a never-ending growth mindset, is personally one of my favorite ways to approach life. Every single day, try and get better. As long as you're trying, that's what matters. The beautiful thing about life, if you never give up, you never fail. And remember, you might watch this video and many other videos like this, and you may feel motivated to start changing your life. And that's awesome, but that motivation is not going to last forever. In fact, even just tomorrow, when you wake up, you're gonna wanna hit that snooze button and you're not gonna feel like doing anything. But those days you feel lazy, that is where the discipline needs to kick in. Motivation gets the fire started, and discipline is what keeps that fire going. Now, once you understood these 5 habits of successful students, make sure to go check out my video on how to actually get a 4.0 in college by clicking this video right over here. And if you enjoyed that video or even found it helpful, please hit that thumbs up button for me. I'd greatly appreciate it. And make sure to hit that subscribe button right over here so that you can see more great content like this. Other than that, thank you guys so much for your time. Keep grinding out there, and most importantly, have a great rest of your day. Peace.